Welcome to part 4. Word is bond. Mildred Muhammad is on the stand. She tells of their community involvement with several organizations, most dealing with children. They also took in foster children, not through state, but on their own when they saw someone needing help, even starting a food co-op in their area. After the separation, she said she regularly made arrangements to pick up children for weekends, and they had someone else to pick them up and drop off so they would not have contact. Mildred had filed a complaint for a protection order stating Muhammad called her excessively and she wanted no contact with him. Note, she didn't say he was harassing her, he just called her. Seems to me like he was in love. In the early part of March, but continued to call Muhammad several times after the complaint. Check that out. In the early part of March, but continued to call Muhammad several times after the complaints. She says she felt Muhammad was mentally affected by Desert Storm and he had changed after returning. The defense presented several family photos of Muhammad, Mildred, and the children. Mildred identified each picture smiling as usual. I saw Mildred as some aloof person when she first walked in the courtroom, but back to the facts. Mildred identified each picture smiling at the photos of Muhammad and the children together. Greenspun asked Mildred, has she discussed the case with the children? At this time, almost simultaneously, Ebert, he's working for the Commonwealth, Ebert stands up and leaves his seat to approach the bench, stating that he objects. Shapiro, Leary, Muhammad, and the security officer also starts to rise. Ebert then asks the judge to approach the bench, and all counsel do so. Questioning is resumed, and Mildred tells how the children wanted to write their father, and she told them now would be a good time and that she would bring the letters to court with her, stating she did not encourage or discourage the letters. Ebert somehow manages to, during Greenspun's cross-examination, and asks, did the children fear for their safety? You know, Ebert's always trying to get something going on. Mildred states she explains the trial to the children and the jury's options. John Jr., she says, states that he knows what is going to happen and he could deal with it. She says that the youngest daughter, Taliba, said she was afraid if he got out, he would kill her. She doesn't want to live the rest of her life without her mommy. She quotes the children as saying these things, but their letters to their father shows otherwise. Check. Counsel approaches the bench. There's a 15-minute recess, then counsel is back at the bench. Mildred is recalled to the stand to continue cross-examination. But before Mr. Greenspun continues, the Commonwealth wants to clarify the statement of how the children felt about Mildred's safety. She repeats what the children allegedly said again to the court. Then Greenspun continues asking Mildred had she sought counsel to write a book. She seemed not to understand the question at first, then says she had thought about writing a book. The letters from the children are finally entered. It is brought out that the letters went from attorney to attorney and even through the FBI. And now they are evidence in the case. Mildred reads the letters aloud. Commonwealth objects, but it is overruled, as Greenspun placed them on the screen. The envelopes are shown. Also, the girls chose to draw hearts on theirs. The letters expressed their love for their father. They spoke of school activities and friends, and that they loved their father no matter what. The letters were not written in a child's scrawl, as some of the newspapers say. The youngest, Taliba, 10 years old, chose to type her letter. She asked Muhammad, "Did you really shoot all those people? Did you tell Lee to say, 'Call me God'? Did you say my name on TV, Father?" Doing redirect, Ebert asks Mildred again, "Did the children fear for her safety? What did they say?" She repeats the answer for the third time. She answers some other questions and lastly reads a letter she had written before being evicted from the house and was seeking assistance. The letter she read verbatim, for the court spoke of how Muhammad left her broke and penniless, and she had to care for her ailing mother, how John had taken the kids and she was afraid of him. Why? You are now in tune on the one, the force itself. At this time we call it the Master Blaster Jamming. From this you can see that Mildred Muhammad is suspect. When I first saw her walk into that courtroom, I saw a crazy woman. That's exactly what I saw. I saw a woman that was not stable. And you can see from what I read, she's not together. So what she's doing now is capitalizing off this man who in 9 more days is fixing to die by people that want to see him dead. Why? Was it because 2 men? Because he masterminded, just like Nat Turner. Nat Turner was up in that same area back in the day of slavery, and he killed people. Some people say, "Why are you standing up for this man?" I'm going to reveal it to you shortly. But let's say the Bible says of Babylon, Babylon is fallen. He says, "Come out from among Babylon." So if you was in New York doing 911, then you're going to get hit. The building's going to fall on you if you're there. So if God is doing a thing through Muhammad, which I found out in my work, and you can read it in my book that I wrote, I'm going to publish something else. So I want y'all to contact me and get that. I'm not capitalizing off Muhammad, but the Spirit of the Lord moved my heart and made me. I mean, we're going to go into the next part, and you're going to see what made me do what I did. You're now in tune on the one, the force itself. At this time we call it the Master Bastard Jamming. Peace until the next part.